What is up, YouTube? My name's Anna from TheXDevs, and today I'm going to be talking about borders. Now, borders are something that's used commonly in web development, and sometimes you just use them to put boxes, and just to make your page look a lot nicer in some ways, and make them look more slim and slick. That's the only way I can put it. So I'm just going to cover up most of the key features of borders. So this might take a little bit long. I think it might. I'm not sure. But so I'm gonna try and go through it pretty quickly. So the first thing first, I have an index file which is .html and a main.css. So first thing first, I'm gonna link my CSS file. So I'm gonna say link. This is using the link tag. I'm gonna say link style sheets, rel style sheet, and type text / CSS. And the href, well, what am I doing? Href is main, which is main.css, because that's what my CSS file is called. So there we go. So that's my CSS, done. Now I'm just gonna add one simple CSS here first. I'm just gonna say body, and I'm gonna change the font to Arial because it's a lot easier to read. So I'm just gonna say font family Arial. Oops, I spelled Arial wrong. And there we go. That's font family Arial, and that's that. So that's one CSS added already. There we go. So now let's go back here, and I'm going to use the div, and I'm going to give it an ID of wrapper. I'm going to end this div. There we go. Now inside this div, now I did this in my first tutorial. This is what I like to call the sandwich kind of technique. Basically, this div here is gonna wrap around all my code in this file. So it kind of works like the body, except I don't like using the body for this in CSS. I just make a div and I call it the wrapper. You'll see what I mean in a minute. And if you watch the first video on this channel, that's what I really talk about. So let's write in some stuff. So I'm just going to say paragraph. I'm just going to put in a bunch of paragraphs just to fill up some space. So this is a pointless paragraph to read. Okay? So, and just do this really. So there we go. So I have a bunch of lines of random stuff. So when I say stuff, I meant I was kind of busy writing this. So there we go. I have all this just to put up some space. So that's that done. Next, I'm going to go to the CSS and put some style to this and put the borders to it. So let's go into our CSS. Now, excuse me, just clearing my throat. Now, because I have a ID here, some people like to use the class. So instead of writing ID, that's what I do. But some people write class. To me, this is really the same thing, and I prefer the ID. But some people use the class. Now, since I'm using class, I write the hashtag and then the name of my ID, which is wrapper. Now, if you're someone that uses the class method instead of the ID method, you would write dot wrapper or whatever the name of your ID, your class is. So I'm using ID. So mine is hashtag and wrapper. As you can see here, it's ID, and the name of the ID is wrapper, so it's hashtag wrapper. If it was class, it would be the class, and the name of the class would be wrapper. So you get the point. So that's that. I just wanted to cover that real quick, just in case you guys were wondering. So there we go. Now in here, I can add my styles. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a width, and I like to put it at around 800 pixels. I'm also going to center this because it looks a lot nicer. So I'm going to say margin is 0 auto. And that's that as well. Now next, we're going to add the border. So here we go. So the border, the first thing you write is border, and you're going to write the semicolons. And then you're going to write solid. Now I'm going to write solid for the first one. So solid, and then after the solid, you space and the size of your border. So I'm just going to make it 1 pixel for now. So let's go to our page here. So now it's, as you can see, it's centerized directly in the middle of the page, and there is a border around it, and it is solid, which is straight. There's no line breaking or anything, just a normal line going around it, and it is 1 pixel wide. So that's what that is. So What if I want, obviously you've probably figured it out, you can make this 5 pixels if you want really, and it'll be 5 pixels long, it's wide instead of 1 pixel long. Or you could make this a dashed, and it will be dashed 5 pixels wide, like so, right? And you can also change the color if you want. You can just say, whoops, I think I clicked something there. Yeah, I did actually. There we go. Now I can also write, I don't know, border color, and say red. And now the border color will change to red, like so. So you can see here, there's the border color change to red. Now let's just change all this back. So I'm just gonna make this solid. Now, you see the way I had solid and dashed? There's actually a couple of different ones, but I can't get it onto my mind straight away now. But you can look them up somewhere, or you can, you know, if you're using like something like Komodo IDE, which is a different development program for, you know, text editor. Some of them, as soon as you write border and then you make the semicolon, straight away it gives you all the options for borders. But this one doesn't, because this is manually done. So you can, you know, as you saw, you can do solid, dashed, loads of different ones. But I'm just going to change it back to solid, and I'm going to make it back to 1 pixel long, and I'll just leave the color red so it's easier to see. So there you go. So we have this now. Now next you might ask yourself, this doesn't look very nice because, I mean, the text is too close to the line. It's just too close to the border. Now the way we can achieve this is by adding padding. So we're just going to say padding, and let's add 5 pixels. Now check what's going to happen. This happens, as you can see, the text is kind of separated, and there's more space from the border to the text. So this makes it look a lot more nicer. I mean, I can make this 10 pixels, and it's going to be 10 pixels away from the text, as you can see. Now, keep in mind, every time you add padding, it actually makes your border a bit bigger. I don't know why this happens, but it does. So I'm just telling you, I know it because I use padding a lot. And you just have to be careful. So that's that. Now the last thing I just want to say about borders is, as you can see right now, it's just a normal rectangle box, or it could be a square box, whatever, but it's just a normal box. But what if you want to make it look nicer and more professional looking? What if you wanted, you know, to have a round edge? Well, to have a round edge, you're going to say border radius. We can make this about 10 pixels. Now you'll see the difference straight away. So you can see now it's a rectangle. Now if I reload the page, now it has rounded edges. Now this is because I added the border radius. Now the border radius sometimes it can fail on you, but I don't think it will these days. But you can add the muz and then border radius. Whoa. Spelled a lot of things wrong. And you can say 20 or whatever. What was it? 10 pixels? Yes, 10 pixels. And there we go. You can do this for WebKit or Internet Explorer or loads of them. So that's that. So I think that's pretty much all the things I need to cover for this. You know, borders. I think I pretty much covered, you know, the key features, and that's what I really want to do. Obviously you can do a lot more stuff with it. You can put more styling to it. Like for example, I can, you know, add a background color and make this CCC, which is a gray color actually. And you know, you can do a lot of stuff with it just to make it look nicer. So that's pretty much borders, kind of in a short way. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If this helped you, please thumbs up the video. In the meantime, I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Peace.